Okay, next we got the executive branch. All right, the executive branch is comprised of our president, our vice president, and also our cabinet. Okay, two words you need to know: electoral college and elector. How's the president chosen, available, being nominated? Okay, what are some key qualities? You should have already answered this. Okay, president heads our executive branch. So we always think about the United States. You always think about the president. Okay, you remember from the House of Representatives, Senate, 25, 30. Now we're on 35. Okay, 35 years old to be president. You have to be a U.S. citizen, and 14 is that magic number. So you got 7, 9, 14, 25, 30, 35. All right. Now we're rolling. Just remember those numbers. Pound them in your head. You got to remember them. They will all be on your test. Okay? When the president is elected, he will serve for 4 years. Okay? If you remember the Senate, it serves for 6. The House of Representatives serves for 2. Your president serves for 4. Okay? You should know the president can only do how many terms? 2. 2 terms. And you already know which amendment that is. The 22nd. Remember, 22nd limits the president to 2 terms. Okay? So, electoral college system. U.S. Senators and Representatives, Washington, D.C. D.C. has 3 electoral votes. Okay? 3 electoral votes in D.C. There are a total of 538 electoral votes. Pay attention. Here's the electoral college map. All right? There are 538 votes out there for the president to win. This was our last election. Okay? If you remember from our map before of Congress, okay, we had 13 before. That's 13 House of Representatives. All right? That's on one side. Then you got 2 senators. 13 plus 2. We have 15 people. So however many people you have in the Capitol is how many electoral college votes you get. Add them together. House of Representatives plus the Senate. Because remember, 13 of our North Carolina was House of Representatives. We had 2 senators. Every state has 2. Remember me talking about Montana. They're guaranteed 1 House of Representatives. They're going to have 2 senators. Add them together. They get 3 electoral college votes. So, if you're running for president, which states do you think you'd hit the hardest? Obviously, you better win the big ones. Always. Democrats are more likely to always win California. Republicans are more likely to always win Texas. When you start off with 55 votes, it helps. That magic number is 270. When you hit 270, you win. Okay? So the higher number, the more likely you want to make sure you get that state. All right? And that's what we call a winner-take-all system. There are a few, and I mean very few states that are not what they call a winner-take-all. Okay, and what I mean by that, North Carolina has 15 votes that a president could win. If the president wins 51% to 49% in North Carolina, they get all the votes. Other states ain't like that. Okay? Look at Maine. If the president wins 25%, and the other runner gets 75, and say Maine has 4 electoral votes, one person could get 3, one person could get 1. They can split them up. But most states are a winner-take-all system. You win that state, you win. Okay? Remember that. So 538 votes. D.C. has 3 votes. Which amendment? 23. 23, D.C. gets to vote. Easy. Okay, like I just said, 538 votes, 270 is the magic number. If there is a tie, the House of Representatives gets to vote on it. It's happened twice. Know that. Okay, 4-year terms. FDR is the only president to ever win a 4th term. Then they changed that to the 22nd Amendment in 1951. I know I'm going fast. That's why this is recorded. You can rewind and hit play as many times as you want. Makes you smarter. Okay. Okay, these are just benefits. President gets about $400,000 a year. Know what the president's plane they fly on. Stomping in my Air Force Ones. Remember it. Okay. All right. So we got the president through the electoral college system. All right. If the president dies or gets sick, it says in Article 1 that the vice president will take over. All right, it's easy. Okay, the 25th Amendment, ratified in 1967, says the president dies or leaves, that the vice will become the president. That's the 25th Amendment. You already know that. Okay, the new president becomes the president, and then the Senate and the House must approve the choice of the new president. The new vice president. Okay, moving on quickly. All right, president's job. He's got a couple things he definitely does. Okay, legislative branch makes the laws. The main thing the president does is enforces the laws. Legislative makes, executive enforces. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, judicial, the last branch, they judge the constitutionality of the law. Does this law go against our Constitution? Those are the main three things you need to know. Okay? So the president, like I said, executes the laws, enforces them. He also vetoes bills. We talked about that. He can call Congress into sessions. He's commander of the armed forces. He approves treaties, appoints government agencies. A big thing, it's highlighted. That means you need to know it, probably on the test. What is a pardon? A pardon is a reduce of the penalty of somebody who's committed a crime. Okay? The president will always give the State of the Union address. Know what it is. Know when it is. Something you might want to look up. Hint, hint. Okay? President carries out the laws. There are 15 cabinets. Know that number. 15. Okay? Executive order. Also something big you need to know. Okay? It's a rule of law that the president can always put a rule of command into force. Okay? Like I said earlier on a previous video, the president can choose Supreme Court justices. But who gets to approve them? The Senate. Alright? Amnesty is a pardon toward a group of people, not just an individual. And a pardon is a declaration of forgiveness of punishment. Please know what the 5 branches of military are. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. Because sitting in our school heralds, we are pretty much in the middle of all 5. Okay? There are, we got Marines in Jacksonville. We got the Coast Guard in Wilmington. You got the Army in Fayetteville. You got the Air Force. I think, where's Fort Bragg? I think that's in Fayetteville. But all of them are all around us. So if I was a terrorist and I was going to bomb the middle of them, I might be looking for Harrah's, North Carolina. You never know. Okay? But it's a good thing we're in the middle of all those. We have all those around us. North Carolina's a bad state. All right? Another role of the president is to meet kings, queens, prime ministers from other countries. They talk, they make their face, they smile, make an appearance. All right. Some of the main things about the economy, the president has to deal with unemployment, taxes, prices, all that fun stuff. Okay. Section 3. Foreign policy. When you hear foreign policy, think of other countries. Foreign policy. Interacting between. Okay? National security, obviously you should know what that is. Think about it. Treaty, embargo. Okay? A nation's plan for dealing with other nations is called its foreign policy. I would highlight that. Know what that is. Okay? International trade, it's a key word. International, think about it. International waters, trade. Not hard. Okay? Another goal the president has to do is world peace. We try to keep all the other countries in peace. We don't like war. All right, but we are one of the baddest countries. 4th goal is to promote democracy around the world. All right, we want to help other countries out. NATO. NATO's big. Woo! North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Man, if you don't know our coastline on North Carolina, on our coast, please know it's the Atlantic Ocean. And NATO is the North Atlantic. We are in the northern part of the Atlantic Ocean Treaty Organization. So we got United States, you got Canada, and then we got all these European countries that are in the North Atlantic. All right. Okay, the Senate must approve a treaty by a 2/3 vote. That's 66% for you math majors. Okay, however, the president can bypass the Senate by making what we call an executive agreement. That is huge. The president can meet with another leader of another country and make an executive agreement. So if he don't want to hear what the Senate's got to say, he can skip them and sign it. All right. Know what a government ambassador is? Foreign aid. Just think about foreign aid. Foreign, helping another country. Aid, helping with money, food, assistance, supplies, so on. Okay? Sometimes we put trade sanctions. Know what a trade sanction is. Okay? We've put this on Cuba. We've put this on Iran, Iraq. These countries that have large communist leaders or terrorist groups, they don't want to listen. They don't want to abide by the guidelines, the rules. We can put a trade sanction on your country, which means nobody's going to trade with you, which pretty much means you're on your own. Your country can do your own thing without our help, which is a bad thing for a country. Trade sanctions are a problem. It kills the economy of the country if you can't provide everything for yourself. Okay? And then embargo is an agreement with a group of nations. All right? Section 4, real quick. Okay? Federal bureaucracy is a big word, the cabinet. All right? Know the executive branch is like a pyramid. Okay? We got our pyramid. At the top, we got the president. Then we got the vice president. Then we got the cabinet. How many's in the cabinet? There's 15. All right? Okay? Know the president lives in the White House. You should know that. Pretty self-explanatory. Got the president chooses the advisors for each department. Okay? President Bush, Department of Homeland Security passed in 2002. Pretty much Homeland Security goes against terrorism. Know what it is and know who did it. George W. Bush. Not senior, junior. The First Lady is obviously the president's wife. The bureaucracy, the executive branch of government must carry out the many programs Congress has created to serve American people, which is known as the bureaucracy. Alright, that's section, that's the executive branch. So, know the big things, know how old you got to be president. Okay, we know it's 35, we know the requirements, we know how long they're elected, how many years they serve. Okay, know the electoral college system, that magic number 270. Remember how they come up with that number. Remember how each state has a certain number. All right, go back over your notes, hit rewind, study, do your best. See ya.